When you think about it, though, and I kind of look at it through the lens of we've had so much information, especially now that we're in a social media age.
Right.
We have the ability to be able to look at the artists from yesteryear,
Mm-hmm.
see what it is that they've done,
Mm-hmm.
see how things have transpired, right?
Mhm.
You can look up information. You can see that, oh man, they didn't get a lawyer, or they did get a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
or they had the same lawyer as the company, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yet we're still seeing the same conversations and the same complaints within the industry or within music itself. And it's like we still in the same spot as
Right.
far as the conversations that's being had.
Right.
Do you think that it's for artists to understand? In a sense that some of them may just not have the business acumen, or some of them just want to stay on the creative side.
Right. I think the truth of the matter is, and some people are going to be upset if I tell the truth, but it is what it is. I think you blame the lawyers.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
It's
I got what
like
you're
that's what we're glossing over. You see what I'm saying? Like the lawyer's job is to protect, right? If you hire a lawyer, their job is to protect you.
Yeah.
Now the problem is with a lot of artists, they don't understand the business that they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
So you have to have common knowledge in anything that you're trying to do. It's like if I go work, let's say at a fast food restaurant, I know I'm going to clock in, I'm going to flip some burgers, and from that time to that time, I'm going to get paid $10 an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know my check is going to come at. A lot of people jump into music and don't even understand where their money is coming from,
Yeah.
or how to make their money, or what they need to invest in to obtain money. They're going in it from a dream perspective of they could visualize themselves as being stars or on TV or being liked or being noticed. And I think that's a lot to do with mommy and daddy issues and lack of a lot of single parent homes and needing to feel loved, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and appreciated by people.
Yeah, when you see these artists today, because it's a lot of artists now. Like it seems like it's obviously more than ever. And their lack of education, but still wanting to get in the game, right? When you see the labels, right, and it seems like the labels are even evolving in how they deal with artists. Is it more difficult now, or was it more difficult then to get on? Because back then it seems like everybody had to go to New York, or they had to wait till the South got popping, and then everybody tried to move down to Atlanta. Whereas now it seems like you only have to have a social media presence, but you got to kind of compete against everybody else that has the same access as you. Do you think it's more difficult now for artists to get popping, or do you think that it used to be more difficult?
I don't. It's hard for me to answer that question. I could tell you my perspective. I think it's all based on talent, timing, and the character of the person. Like an artist is like any business, right? And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn, hey, as an independent artist, I'm a business. I'm self-employed, right? So every business, the first thing you should do before you jump into business is get consulted on the business if you don't understand the business, right? So you learn a little bit of the basics, you understand, and you maneuver a certain type of way, right? But at the same time, businesses have to be marketed.
Yeah, they do.
And it's only two ways you're gonna make money in business. It's either from a product or a service.
Yep.
Right? So we understand that about business. So as an artist, I'm providing a service when I'm doing shows, when I'm doing, tours, hosting, endorsements, whatever. When I'm making music, I'm selling a product. Right? So the better my product is, the easier it's going to sell. The better my service is, the easier it's going to sell. So it's simple to me. You feel where I'm coming from? The better the product, the better the service, and then what you put behind it. But in order to sell something, you have to have the easier to sell. It's like, have you ever heard that? You heard that terminology, good dope sell itself. The better the product, the easier to sell.
Yeah.
So it's no coincidence that the top artists are super, super talented.
Yeah.
And then you have some that, might catch a viral moment like a clothing brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. That came in and it's gone. Like, what's the Harley Davidson brand?
Yeah, the Ed Hardy.
The Ed Hardy. Okay, it's here and it's
yeah.
gone. You know what I'm saying? But you got some stuff like Polo or Nike that's going to stand the test of time. They're going to be considered legacy artists. You know what I'm saying? Because they know how to reinvent themselves. So it's all business. It's about the people you have around you. So it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint what's harder. I think it's social media make things easier, to be honest with you, if you ask my opinion, because you could touch a vast amount of people in a short amount of time, where back in the day, you really was only, it started with your neighborhood,
Yeah.
and it spread it to your city, then it spread it to your region, then it spread it to the country. And so I think with social media, it makes it a little bit more easier to get on. And if you're super talented and you consistent, you could create a real good fan base.
Yeah. What about the A&R aspect of it? Because A&R basically went away, right? And that, or maybe not A&R, but artist development, right?
Artist development, yeah.
Artist development, in that, you
Yeah.
know, you could kind of groom them, or teach them, or show them, or have people around them that then kind of gave them the game.
It went away. It's a headache.
Yeah. So, but
It's
with
a headache.
With
Why-
that being said, it seemed like you got to babysit a lot of people now. though.
That's why nobody wants to develop artists. That's why with the internet, it's so many artists. There's no need to sit around and hold artists' hands like that, because it's like, okay, cool. You want to act dumb? I just get that person for their record. Because in the record business, right, it's about selling of records. It's about catalogs.
Yeah.
So most people that's record labels, like even people who start in labels, they don't understand it's about creating a catalog.
Yeah.
It's not about necessarily just I'm gonna be seen popping bottles, throwing money like BMF. You know what I'm saying? It's about how many songs do I have under my catalog that is generating streams and generating income. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's about record sales. You feel me?
Can you break down? I was seeing you break down the whole advance process, right?
Right.
Break that down for me. In that some people believe that, or they're not taking into consideration the fact that they got advanced money.
Right. You talking about when I said
When they
artists
say get paid for their work.
They say they ain't get paid for their royalties.
Yeah.
Now I want to say this, right? Record labels, just like any business, take advantage of the ignorance of the people. So I'm not, when it comes to that aspect, you get where I'm coming from. I feel like that's where the education needs to come in at, right? But artists saying they did not get paid for their streams or their royalties, they need to understand, if you take an advance, if somebody pays for your studio time, if somebody pays for your marketing, if somebody pays for your look, your image, whatever they pay for out their pocket, that's an advance on future royalties.
Yeah.
And you got paid up front, and the record label got paid on the back.
If
and just
the
like
record label even make any money from you.
If they even make any money off of it. You still walked away. And so when they had a terminology, they got shelved. That means you didn't recoup the money, or the record labels are not making money from you. So they're not going to continue to invest more money into a product that's not making money.
Yeah,
it's a
I don't know
business.
where that work in any business.
It's like you
in
shelving
any place.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't know where that work at.
The problem is artists don't want to reinvest the money back into themselves.
Yeah.
They don't believe enough in themselves to take that advance money and to double down on what works, because that's what we do in business. We find a product, we experiment with the product. Oh, this one right here is going to sell. Instead of buying 100 of these shoes, we're going to buy 100 of these shoes and less of these, because that's going to sell more.
That's where the money is. That's
where
where
the
the
money
come
is.
from. Yep.